What up, T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Baddies Midwest, Season 6, Episode 18. Yo, this episode was wild. Yo, Tommie is insane. Like, literally insane. Oh my God, that lady is crazy. And I am here for every bit of her insanity, okay? So, in tonight's episode, we begin with some of the girls sitting by the fire. They're in St. Louis, and Dolly is back from the emergency room, and she mad. She mad, I guess, because her nose is back re-injured or whatever. She got a bad hand. Like, she just is down bad at this point. I don't know why she just won't go to hell home, okay? Because she is literally looking like a rag doll. Natalie comes outside and joins the girls and announces that they're going to have a house meeting before they head to the club that night. They're going to the Marquee, and that they have a special guest, but they need to go and get ready for the club, and then they'll have the meeting, and then they'll go to the club, which I'm like, why wouldn't you have the house meeting before y'all get dressed to go to the club? But this is Natalie. It adds to the drama, okay? So I didn't even know until the other day that Big Lex is gay. I did not know that little girl was gay until she posted a video of her Valentine's Day with her girlfriend. I was like, okay, did not know that. But the girls get dressed for the Marquee. And I noticed that Natalie and Jayla still had on the outfits that they had on early in the day. I was like, y'all ain't gonna change, little funky ass little girls. But okay. So Natalie asks who fought earlier. And Nunu says, me and Smalley, me and Microscopic. And Anna was like, Biggie. And she was like, and we gonna fight again. Like, she want to fight Biggie again. I'm like, aren't you tired? Like, Biggie ain't even no smoke for you. Let that little girl and her Play-Doh stomach go on somewhere, okay? So Anna tells Summer to mind her business. Everybody's getting sick of Summer. I'm like, I've been sick of Summer. Summer looked like a dirty tampon, okay? I just cannot with that little dusty, musty, crusty ass little girl. Like, she was sitting up there. I'm like, what club are you going to? I don't know what the hell was going on with her hair. She had like some little statues or koala bears. She just looked a mess, okay? She don't even look like she shop at Rainbow. I don't even know what's below Rainbow. Maybe 5. No, I can't even say 5 and below. Like, I don't even know where this little girl get her clothes from, but they all look like they are made out of paper mache. Like, she is just so and her attitude and her mouth. It's like, little girl, like, you do too much. Like, okay, we get it. Oh my God. Ugh. So Summer was like, who gonna stop me? Who gonna stop me? And I bring this up because this is leading into the Hawaii part of the trip where her and Anna are going to have multiple fights with one another. And I cannot wait because somebody need to mop her ass, okay? Because I'm sick of that little girl. So Natalie asks, where is Dolly? And they was like, her nose broke again. And she like, what? So that's when Pretty P explains their fight that they had earlier that day and how she's still been talking to Emma, and Emma asked, had anybody been talking about her? And she told her the truth. And so Natalie feels like that's weird that she's going back and telling Emma stuff when Emma isn't there, and feels like whatever is discussed just stay between them. But it wasn't like she was going and telling her something that she didn't already know that they said about her. And I'm like, P, you said it, so what? Make it make sense. Why you mad at me? And so Dolly come out after hearing her name. They get to arguing back and forth. And she's sitting up here talking about, stand up then. She acting like she want to fight again. Ma'am, you are disabled. Like, if you don't get somewhere and sit down, your hand is like this. Your nose is like this. Like, girl, you don't need nothing else to happen to you, okay? You already out here looking like Punky Brewster, the black girl version. Like, please, have several. Stop it, please. You're going to be in a wheelchair by the time you go back home. It will not be worth it. So then, Pretty P, while she arguing with Dolly, points out, like, you got all this smoke for me, but Tasiki threw a whole drink on you and you ain't do nothing to her. And Dolly was like, when my hand heal, we gonna handle that. And Tasiki was looking like, oh, baby, this ain't what you want. This ain't what you want at all. So this explains why at the Baddies Midwest premiere, they fought. And so we already know that they going to fight at the reunion because, little words have been said back and forth throughout this season on social media. And I'm looking forward to that fight. Oh, yeah. So, Natalie then brings up Rollie fighting Slim. And I guess you know how she finally did her big one and got her up out of here. And they have been eating Rollie up on social media all week long. You have had other baddies come out the woodwork talking about what happened. And I do feel like how they did Slim was wrong because Rollie was in the wrong just as much as she was in the wrong for the things that they said to one another. And the fact that, you fighting this girl that is so much smaller than you, it's not even a fair fight. Then you sneak her. Then you got Summer sneaking her. She was done so wrong. And all y'all did was make Slim a fan favorite because now everybody online all week long was rooting for Slim and dogging y'all. Like, Rollie, you looked pathetic fighting her. You really honestly did. Especially knowing that you started it allegedly with what you said about her father. Like, make it make sense, girl. And you sneaking her, I think that's what was even worse. Because that wasn't even necessary. You had already fought her. You know she didn't want to fight you. Like, it was just a mess. And Rollie is just making herself look worse and worse with the audience. She really honestly is. So Jaden asks where Ivory is because she liked Ivory. And I was like, oh, okay. Ivory just looked like she smelled like spoiled milk. I digress. She looked like she need athlete's feet. So then Natalie explains to everybody that before they head to Hawaii that somebody will be eliminated because they can't take everybody. And she also warns Summer and Jasmine that if they can't get it together, one of them gonna have to go. I honestly feel like both of them should leave because Summer gets on my everlasting nerve and Jasmine is a nuisance too. And not a nuisance. Jasmine is just there. She's boring. She really hasn't done anything, stuck out. You know what I'm saying? I can't even go up for her fashions for real. Like, she's just there. Send her home. Send her home. She don't need the money, according to her. So then Natalie announces that Tommie is coming and all the girls' mood immediately changed because, some of the girls don't like Tommie. They got issues with her. Akbar immediately takes her shoes off because they got smoke with each other. They allegedly had some fight at a recording studio. And I forgot all about the fact that they had an episode of The Conversation on Zeus. I totally forgot all about that their beef goes back that far. So Akbar has issues with Tommie. Rollie and Tinka also have issues with her. And Tinka's issue is that she makes a comment about how she respects her elders, but people need to watch what they say, mind their own business, and know when not to speak. And she talks about Akbar as well, about how Akbar was sticking her nose into her issue when they went to that break room. So they get to arguing back and forth, Tinka and Akbar. And Tinka tells Akbar that she be talking at the wrong time. And I agree that in that moment, Akbar was trying to be peacemaker, but sometimes you just need to mind your business. And when she asked you the first time, you should have just let it go. You know what I'm saying? But Tinka also goes on to tell Akbar that she better fight Tommie because if she don't, she gonna fight her. And I said, well, wait a minute. That's some shit that a mama tell a kid. Like, if you don't go outside and fight them, I'm gonna fight you. I said, girl, just fight her because you obviously want to. Like, what? So then here go Rollie on her pedestal. She get to preaching saying that Natalie need to start checking people face to face. Because, Natalie be talking all this, that, and the third or whatever online or whatever to the other girls. And Scotty said something to make Rollie say, shut up. Because you barely be fighting anybody. And Scotty was looking like, yeah, I don't. Y'all know this. Like, what? Like, Scotty was so taken aback by the whole situation. So, Rollie goes on to say that they stay talking about people And she says to Natalie, just because you're the executive producer don't mean that you get to sit back and hug on the ops and act like everything is all good and we up here fighting these people. Like, you still need to get in the field too. But Natalie feels like, I've done my job. I've, got us to where we are now. I've fought on this show. She feels like she shouldn't have to fight anymore. But I agree with Rollie as to, don't be sitting up here having so much to say behind closed doors or on social media, but then when you get around people, you want to act like it's all good. Like, no, we're not doing that. And if you're going to be the EP and stay off the show, or be the EP, be on the show and be ready to get in the paint like everybody else. I agree with Rollie on that. But of course, Natalie disagrees because she feels like she did what she needed to do. She put in her work or whatever. And I love how Rollie clocked that. Yeah, you're just the EP, my love. You have no say-so over anything, unlike Jocelyn. So Natalie then tries to change the subject and says to Biggie, the last time we talked about Tommie, you said Natalie and Akbar, y'all better be ready. You know what I'm saying? And so even Biggie was like, where'd that come from? Like, why you trying to deflect? Like, huh? Like, and that's exactly what she was doing. She was trying to take the heat off her and start an issue with Biggie because Biggie is easy prey. And that was so lazy and corny of Natalie. Like, stop, please stop. Because why you ain't have that energy for Rollie when she just called you out? Stop. Because you look like a punk. So Biggie in her confession was like, she's trying to deflect because every time it's time for her to get in the paint, she don't want to, and she don't want to with Rollie because she already know Rollie will give her that work and black her eye again. So in walks Tommie, honey, in her full Tom Brown outfit, and I said, yes, ma'am, you better give them fashion. These little girls don't know nothing about that. Nothing at all about no Tom freaking Brown. So when she comes in, she says hi to Jaden. And of course she speaks to Biggie because Biggie her homegirl. She brought Biggie some weed or whatever. Everybody like, hey, Tommie. The people that don't know her, the newbies, is kind of looking at her and all like, oh my God, that's Tommie. So Akbar immediately confronts her about they issues and what happened between them on a conversation when she tried to throw something at her and what happened between them in the studio and everything. And while they're going back and forth arguing, Jayla and Natalie are laughing or whatever. And several other girls were laughing as well. And so as they going back and forth arguing, Tommie has this bunny rabbit in her hand that she has not let go. Mind you, she took off her coat and she set down a bag, but she still is holding on to this bunny, which should have let them know off jump something ain't right. Because why are you holding this bunny when anybody could run up on you and try to fight you? You know what I'm saying? So Rollie then decides to jump into the situation, and she was like, she'll do anything for a check. And Tommie was like, girl, we're on the same show. Make it make sense. I've been doing this reality show shit while you was sitting at home. Like, since you was on Jerry Springer bathing yourself in fettuccine Alfredo. Stop. So then they get to arguing. And Rollie was like, you up here in your schoolgirl outfit looking like you got on your daughter clothes. And I'm like, now why you bring her daughter in this? Because soon as somebody say something about your son, then it's World War III with you. And like Tommie said, it's Tom Brown. Like, you don't know nothing about nothing, girl. You don't know nothing about nothing when it comes to clothes. And what really bothered me is when Rollie gonna tell her that her lip is starting to roll up because her lip injections ain't right and she need to get them redone. I'm like, roly poly. Snack meals. Remember what your name is. Roly poly snack meals. You can't say anything about anybody's body, face, fillers, or anything. When you went and got your whole body reconstructed and you still look like the Michelin Man, please tell me what they did to help you because you're still big. You're still big, ma'am. You should have got gastric bypass surgery because that look tummy tuck or whatever you look stuffed, ma'am. You done got fillers too. And as long as them knees still touching and them feet still wide apart, you really can't say nothing about nobody. Okay? Like you walk like you a platypus. Ma'am, stop. Stop. With fillers or no fillers, Tommie's still killing you when it comes to looks. Rollie, that don't ever try to talk about nobody's nothing when you over here shaped like a whole dining room table. Ma'am, if you don't stop, girl. So Scotty, like everybody else, is just peeping the arguments, but she notices that it's something going on with this bunny rabbit. She says to Tommie, "What's wrong with your bunny?" She was like, "Nothing." And she was like, "Why is it a slit in there?" But nobody's listening to Scotty. So then Tinka jumps in because she's mad that at the last reunion, Tommie said to Meatball, basically, you let her act like a fool. Let old girl act like a fool. Let her crash out or whatever. On some, you'll see what the friendship is, da 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 da. She didn't really say anything disrespectful to me. She just didn't say Tinka's name. So Tinka took that as she was trying to be funny and act like she didn't know who she was. Like, girl, it's in the heat of the moment. Maybe she couldn't even think of your name. Like, you just trying to find a reason to have an issue with somebody. I felt like her issue was so minute and so stupid. But she didn't step up and get to arguing with Tommie. And she like, why y'all not fighting? Why y'all not fighting about Tommie and Akbar? Because she feel like they need to be fighting. I'm like, who the fuck are you to be telling somebody that they need to be doing something? So when nobody was, I guess, paying her any attention, Tinka decides, okay, well, I'm going to walk up on Tommie. But before she could do that, Tommie saw her coming, dug her hand into the bunny. And as she's digging her hand in the bunny, I would have either rushed her or fell back to see what she was doing, because obviously she was reaching for something. So she reaches her hand into the bunny rabbit and pulls out an actual blicky and gets to pow, 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 pow. But she doing it like she in Menace to Society and like she dog. She up here, pow, 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 pow. I'm like, God, Tommie, who the hell do you think you are? Tommie thinks she is a gangster so bad, y'all. I was hollering. So she get the pow pow and everybody. Certain people just sat there. Other people did get the ducking and stuff. Jayla and Natalie immediately jumped and was scared. Rollie started running. And as she's running, she knocked down the seat that Jayla and Natalie were sitting in. So they went flying backwards. Akbar was standing behind Tommie when she pulled out the blicky, and she immediately got to running. And I was like, you could have grabbed her from the behind, punched her in her head or anything, but she said, fuck that, I am out of here. And I'm a low-key give her a pass because she has been pow-powed in the head, so it's probably, you know what I'm saying, post-traumatic stress or whatever from the situation. Rollie apparently got hit in the titty. Tinkerbell got hit several places because she was aiming for her. She was like, bam, 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 bam. Security immediately grabbed Tommie, and Scotty was like, I told y'all something was in the bunny. So Tinka, of course, is hot. She is trying to get to Tommie at all costs. That little pajama outfit she called a ensemble. Child, the panties riding all up her butt. She just looked like a beluga whale, looked like a can of Spam running around trying to get to her. And I'm like, girl, Pretty P, aka Shirley Chisholm, did not fight for you to be walking around looking like a buffoon. Okay? You owe that lady more respect than that. So, security will not let Tinka get to Tommie. Rollie being held back by a security guard. She walking around with a Don Julio bottle in hand, I guess thinking she was gonna be able to hit her or something with it, knowing dang on well that wasn't gonna happen. And security finally lets Tinka get to Tommie, and she walks towards her and like hits her, but the hit ain't even fast. It's kind of like in mid motion. So she got to hit her one almost good time. They get to tussling, and as soon as they get to tussling, security jumps in, which gives Tommie the upper hand because they had started to tussle with one another and grab at each other. And so Tommie was able to grab at her hair, at her wig. And so security is trying to break them up, but Tommie is not letting go. Tommie is yanking and yanking. And she was like, this what you want? This what you want, huh? You want a name so bad, ho? You want a name so bad, ho? And Tika, let my hair go. Let my hair go. Let my hair go. Tommie is not letting her the fuck go, okay? So Rollie finally decides to put the bottle down. She goes stomping back towards the fire pit like she King Kong. And she get the yelling and screaming and throwing chairs and stuff because she want to get at Tommie or whatever. And I just felt like she was putting on theatrics at that point. But the episode then goes off. Y'all, that was some funny shit to me. It was funny, but it wasn't funny. It was funny to me because that's what you get, Rollie, for what you just did to Slim. And payback came back around real quick for you. It was also funny because, like, Zeus, when are y'all gonna learn that Tommie always gonna come with something? This wasn't even the first time that she's done that. When y'all saw her holding on to this bunny, y'all should have known that something was amiss. And it's not funny because, yeah, it was a BB, but somebody could have got hit in the eye or in a place that really was messed up. Like, that is crazy. It's unacceptable to be doing stuff like that. Like, you a whole grown woman, a grandma. Like, why are you participating in this type of foolishness? You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you feel like you need to pull out a weapon says a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, get somewhere and sit down, Tommie, please, because somebody could have really gotten hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't cool. Pretty P has gotten pow like she said twice. Like, that's not a funny thing to do because somebody could have really gotten hurt. And you don't want other people to think that doing stuff like that is cool. You know what I'm saying? It was tasteless. It was unnecessary. But I'm looking at Natalie also like, this your show, right? And this girl comes on there and does something like that. You ain't checking her? You ain't gonna say nothing? Okay. So I can understand why on next week's episode, Rollie and Tinka gonna feel some type of way about the way she and Jayla decided to handle the situation, because I told y'all that when they came to St. Louis that none of the girls went out to the club with them. It was just Jayla and Natalie. None of the other girls went out because they were pissed at what happened, you know. So it's gonna be a mess. Do y'all think that Natalie and Jayla were wrong for still going to the booking, or do you think that they still had a commitment, so they had to do what they had to do? Y'all let me know down below in the comment section what y'all think about it all. But this is a wild episode. Wild. Y'all, please make sure to thumbs up this video. Subscribe to my channel if you have not. And also, you guys, if you are not subscribed to my second channel, Pop Culture Digest, the link is in the description box. This week, I will be loading content onto that channel in preparation for the Oscars this Sunday. So I'm going to be posting some of my favorite haute couture fashion shows from Fashion Month. This past, Fashion Month is still going on currently right now. So please make sure that you are subscribed to Pop Culture Digest. Like I said, I'm going to be showing you some of my favorite fashion show looks, dresses that I hope to see at the Oscars. I'm going to be showing you guys some celebrity home tours on that channel and even more stuff. So please subscribe to Pop Culture Digest. It's in the description box. So do so and join me on that channel as well. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.